And I feel that's how most people are. They're split, right? But a power is being able to put your stake in the ground and ground yourself.
Right.
Be grounded where you're at. Be present. Right.
Out west where the sun always beams bright. Midland skies keep the hustle in sight. BAM Consultants got the blueprint intact. For dreamers on the grind, they got your back. Championing dreams from the ground to supreme. Providing that spark, igniting the team. Marketing flow strategies that glean. BAM in Midland, building your dream. They teach the
Bam! All right. Didn't see that one coming.
No, I didn't.
Well, welcome, Miss Karina KJ Johnson.
Yes.
How you doing today?
I'm great.
Awesome. Well, great to have you on. Yes, ma'am. So, we got a story to tell. You are the current co-owner of Fuego. You called it say that?
Resto and Bar.
Resto.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term before. Where'd that come from?
So originally it was called Fuego West Texas. When we acquired the business in August, we kind of wanted to go through a little rebrand. And some of the feedback we were getting from previous customers and just me, like seeing people outside the restaurant, they don't know what West Texas means. Like, I had someone in their car, they rolled down their window, they said, "I thought this was a fireplace store."
Fireplace?
Yes, because in the original logo, it's like
Fuego,
a flame. There was a flame and it said West Texas. And I was like, I can see how that's confusing. We've got to change that. We decided to stick with Fuego, one, because it had its name everywhere. And we were like, we don't want to change anything right now. But Resto, because it is a restaurant. It's short.
Right.
And then we are a full service bar as well.
I've just never heard restaurant shortened like that. It's a thing, huh?
I guess so.
No, it's pretty cool because I like how, what is that, gastro lounge, right? I was like, that always sounded so cool, right? I was like, okay, if I ever owned a restaurant, how could I,
You call
make
it like
it sound
your
cool?
gastro pub.
Right, gastro pub, right? So that's pretty cool. So resto. Okay, gotcha. So it was had been around for a while, Fuego West Texas, and you took it over.
Yes.
So what compelled you to want to buy a restaurant?
So my background, I had about 12 and a half years in restaurant and bars, working strictly in the front of house, server, bartender, and it was something I always enjoyed. I always loved. When the opportunity came up, a friend of mine who, she's an area manager for multiple restaurants here locally, I thought at that time like she'd be a great fit to be my partner, because I just felt like both of us together, I mean, we can make it happen. So sent her a message, asked her if she was interested, and she said yes. And I guess it felt natural compared to the other business I had at the time. It just seemed like something I had been doing for so long. It was going to be, it's going to present its challenges, but it was going to be like a natural ownership, it felt like.
Okay. And because you had so much experience in the restaurant bar industry, you had been working with your friend. So you're like, okay. So ownership, right? You wanted to own it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And had you owned a business before this point?
Yes, but let me just touch down on, so even though in the previous years I had never been like a manager per se, I worked for Cork and Pig for 13 years, or not 13, 10 years. And I loved the way they ran that company. I really watched closely how the operations was. Like, I loved that job. Like, it was a very good run business. So I took in a lot of things beyond what my position was, and I paid attention and I watched and I absorbed all of that knowledge. So that's another reason why I felt very comfortable.
Confident.
Yeah.
Being able to go after ownership. Right. Okay. And then just perfect timing. Fuego became available.
Yeah. Actually, my husband Matthew, he saw a post on Facebook and he was on the phone with me. He was like, "Hey, did you see so and so selling their business?" And I didn't even say bye to him on the phone. I said, hey, I gotta go. I gotta
Started checking it out.
yeah, I've got to do some things. So click. And then I sent a message to her with just like the little eyes emoji. And I was like, are you interested? And the rest is history.
Nice. Nice. Shout out to Matthew.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's always so important, to have a supportive partner. And I know Matthew, and man, he's a great guy. And I can see y'all like a power couple. So that's super cool.
Yeah.
That's always a huge plus, when you're going to be a business owner, right?
Yeah,
Taking on a huge ordeal, a huge task.
No, definitely. I think, you hear a lot of people when they say, like, it's hard to work with your spouse. Like, don't work with your spouse. Don't work with family. Like,
Right.
I think for us, we truly know what our strengths and weaknesses are. So you do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my thing.
Right.
And I mean, of course, there's going to be the times where
For
you
sure.
butt heads, but I feel like when everyone knows their role, you know how to stay in your lane.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to hear the same thing. My grandfather, never do business with friends or family, And at first I'm like, okay, that's law, right? But then, as you go through life, kind of, well, I see why not, right? I can see why that would be said,
For sure.
Because once something goes bad, past a certain point, it's hard to repair, right? And you don't want to damage certain relationships.
That's right.
But at the same time, those should be the relationships the relationships first, right? Because that's what's holding it together, right? And then you deal with all the other madness.
Deal with the rest
Yeah.
later. And I think because I've never had a partner ever prior to the restaurant, and I've told this story a couple times to a few people, but I want to say like maybe a month and a half before we bought Fuego, I had I had been like in a weird space where I'm just like, man, I really want to grow, like in my entrepreneurship and in my business. Like, I just want to grow. Like, there's so many businesses that I admired and the owners behind them, and I loved how they operated. And there was just like one central theme that I feel like I was missing. They all had partners, and I didn't have a partner outside of my spouse. Like, but in my mind, I'm like, we're a automatic partner. Like, this isn't like a true partnership, but it was a little different than what I was, wanting. So I just noticed like a lot of the businesses and even like larger companies that we see in the spotlight, like they all have partnerships. And I said, you know what, Lord, can you put it in my heart to be able to accept a partner? Because I always struggled with wanting to have a partner, because in my mind, that means you got to share your money.
You sharing, yeah.
And I think like just based on my, like where I came from, like, growing up with no money, like that was hard for me to just share the piece of the pie. But it literally was put on my heart probably like last July that I'm going to open my mind and my heart to having a partner, because I want to grow to a place that I know I can't grow with by myself.
Yeah.
And a month later, literally a month later,
this opportunity,
when I accepted that I had been thinking about it, but I, you know what? I'm opening my heart and my mind to accepting a partner. That was in July. In August, we had the opportunity for Fuego, and I was approaching my new partner.
Yeah. That's amazing how that works, right? So I just came across this concept recently of, manifesting what you manifest, right? And a lot of it is, synchronicities, right, that happen, right? Well, imagine that you're sending a ping out, and then you're sending constant pings out with every thought that you have, you're sending it out, right? But what you're doing, when you were contemplating for a while about it, you're just sending random pings out, but nothing was, strong enough to get through. But then you made up your mind. You're like, this is it. Yes.
Yeah.
Opened up. And that's that. We're already a month later. Okay, here we are.
Yeah.
I think that's a crucial component to it.
You have to be intentional, and that's a whole nother conversation.
yeah,
I don't know if we should get into it, because people will like go back and forth on it being like not religious and things and that.
I would love to get into that.
But I'm very big on, like, I know when me and my husband like got together, he used to say, sometimes like you just say stuff like it's just gonna appear. We used to laugh about it, but now we don't, because I feel like everything I've asked for, I've been given. So I'm very intentional and I'm very specific about what I want.
That's important. Specificity.
Yeah. You got it. No, but
Yeah.
being like intentional, but say exactly how you want it to look.
Yeah. Yeah. Calling future into the now.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I love that. And intention is huge, right? That is the keystone, right? Of bringing it all together.
For sure.
What do you intend, right? Because what's that saying? Like if you don't have it, you can go as far as you want, but if you don't have a direction, you're still going nowhere.
Right.
So if you set that intention, you set your direction, navigate, bring what you desire, right?
Yeah.
You're creating, right? And that's awesome. So, you touched on it. You came from where you had no money, right? So you're not from the area.
No. I've been here 13 years now. So I came from Washington State. I went to high school there, but I was born in Pennsylvania and I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee.
So, but story of how you just got here and say, oh, Midland.
Yeah.
Right? Tell us that story, right? You just showed up here and fell in love with the place.
Just dropped here. So about in 2012, I came here. My mom and my stepdad, they came here for work, and I just fresh out of high school. I mean, didn't really have going much on for a 17-year-old, so I came, and I had never worked a day in my life. I was so eager to work, and my first job was Chili's. Yeah, got a job waitressing, and I was very fascinated by the hustle and bustle of the city. It was in my mind, it was a small town because I was from Memphis. It's bigger.
Right.
And it just seemed so busy. And I mean,
For being a small town.
Yeah, we're 2012. Look at it now. I remember when I first drove to Midland, there was nothing. Left and right, nothing. Now, there's so many things when you're driving from Odessa to Midland.
Yeah.
But yeah, got here, started working, and I always had this itch to be bigger than what I was at the time. Yeah. So that's, I guess, my start is just here. And even to go more into that, I had plans to only be here for a couple months.
Oh, yeah, I know that plan. Yeah.
Everybody has that plan. My dream was to go to New York and go to fashion design school. That was my first dream.
Yeah.
That quickly did not happen because I was obsessed with money. And I was for a waitress that was 17, I felt like I made great money. Mm-hmm. And I said, I bet you none of the kids I graduated with are making this kind of money. And probably a year into living here, my mom, she said, hey, we're moving again and you need to come with us. And I was like, I don't want to go. No. Because even though I've only lived in the 4 states, I had been to 14 different schools. We moved a lot. So I think I was at my limit.
Yeah.
I said, you know what? I know this isn't the beach or New York, but maybe I can stay here. So my mom, she said, okay, if you can get an apartment before we leave, I'll feel comfortable letting you stay. And I mean, I'm 18 now at this point, but you listen to your parent.
For sure.
So if I didn't have my ducks in a row, I knew I was going to leave with her.
Right.
Right. So I quickly got myself an apartment and she left. And that's where I got my start.
Yeah. Your independence.
Yes.
Here in Midland.
Yeah. I always jokingly tell people that, because I wanted to go to New York and go to design school. I say, well, the Permian Basin was my shot on Broadway. People come here to work. They come here to make a living. It's their make it or break it moment. So it's my version of that.
Yeah. You're like, hey, I'm here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Do it. And there's just so many resources. I feel like I truly learned how to be an adult here.
I think that's also a very important part, right? To where everybody's always trying to get out, right? Oh, because they're somewhere else. They're in their head, in their spirit, they're somewhere else.
Right.
And even though their body's here, everything's here, the home's here, but they want to be in New York, right? You had the dreams, but then you're like, you know what? No, this is my dream. I'm here. I'm going to live in my dream right now, right? Instead of being separated, you're somewhere else, or across the globetrotting or whatever, right? And I feel that's how most people are. They're split, right? But a power is being able to put your stake in the ground and ground yourself,
Right.
Be grounded where you're at, be present, right? So that's totally important. That's intention too, right? Being present. That's another facet of manifesting and creating. You're in Midland, called Midland. Now Midland's your home, right?
Midland, Odessa is my home.
That's your Broadway.
It's my Broadway.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's all the little things in between that.
Sure.
I probably shortly after moving here, within 2 years, I had my daughter. She's 10 now. So I felt like for me, that was my for real moment of you've got someone depending on you.
Yeah.
So I think that was a big eye opener for me to want better for myself.
That'll help make you grow up quick.
Yeah, or it won't.
Or a lot of people run from that. Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, I know. I waited. I was 29, turning 30 when my daughter was born. Right.
Great time.
Yeah, because anytime before that, I was way too immature. Couldn't even take care of myself, barely. I was just floating in the wind. But then when she came along, I was like, oh, okay. Who am I? What do I do?
Right. I've got to take care of my responsibilities.
What am I doing with my life? But yeah, it makes you grow up quick.
Yes.
For sure.
This episode of BAM BizTalk is brought to you by Flash Mobile. Whether you're managing your business, chasing your dreams, or just handling life on the go, Flash Mobile gives you nationwide for GLTE coverage. No contracts and total freedom, all at a price that makes sense. Activate your plan in minutes. Bring your own device. Stay in control wherever life takes you. Contact us and make the switch today. And now let's get back to today's show.
And it gives you on life. Okay, my life's not mine per se anymore. I still have to live it to the fullest, but now I got,
we have someone we have to take care of.
Take care of. He's watching me all the time.
Yes,
so now my decisions are totally different, and it's a beautiful thing how that happens.
No, it's very, it changes. Before I had my daughter, or just having kids in general, our actions are different.
Yeah.
But now I have, it sounds like common sense, but one of my rules, I'm okay, I won't do anything that will jeopardize me getting my kid taken away.
Right. So, it sounds...
It's like the fun police for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, better the fun police for yourself than the accident police.
Yes. But yeah, that's kind of the beginning of the journey. Along that way, I decide to enroll myself in college because, again, I never went the first chance.
Right.
So I ended up enrolling myself at UTPB in the spring of 2016. Someone had mentioned to me, they were like, hey, you should go enroll at UTPB. They have a bunch of scholarships for single moms. And I was like, I'm going to go do that. And that's what I did.
So you went to school to be a nurse. Is that what? No. That was different. Oh.
No. Time in 2016, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a doctor or a PA. So I actually went and studied biology. So I have a bachelor's in biology. I ended up not going to med school or PA school.
Yeah. But you still worked in the medical field?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No. I at the end of 2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so a different...
Yeah, different time.
Okay.
Totally time.
So you went in 2016, got your biology degree.
Yeah.
Because you intended
to use it, but did
Gotcha.
not use it.
Gotcha. But you still pulled a degree.
Yeah, pulled a degree.
So that's awesome right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just putting yourself through that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and actually completing it. Because there's so many that to start. Like, because I took classes forever.
Oh, me too. It took me 5 years, I think, to get my first bachelor's degree. That was
5 years is not bad. That's like right.
well. Let's just say I took every summer school it was because my head wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
Like I'm taking classes and up since 2 in the morning working
Mm-hmm.
and showing up to class at 8 a.m. Like I always say, on paper, my first degree looks like I didn't care, but I did. I just did not have priorities together.
No, 100%. So you took 5 years. I took, 94, 2004. I took 23 years to get my bachelor's.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
You did
Thank
it.
you. I did it, right? I did it. I changed majors so many times. I was a professional student.
Okay.
Like, my first major was psychology because I loved psychology, right? I loved like Jung and, you know, all of them. And, but then I found out that to make any real money, you had to
Have a doctorate?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not going to be in school for 10 years. Oh, yeah. Huh?
Even though you
joke
were.
was on me, right? That doubled that up.
That's funny.
But no, I'm just interested in everything. And I didn't know what I wanted.
Same. I changed my major a couple times. Like at one point, I was a communications major. And then I was like, man, this is boring. And then I said, well, I have enough credits to make it a minor. Bam, that's my minor. And I wanted to change to like engineering, to so many like things. I was very interested in a little bit of everything. At one point, I looked at art.
I mean, yeah, right. I get it. I get it. Was it Steve Jobs? I think he went. He didn't. Well, when he went to the courses, the art classes, and that's where he learned a lot of the, you know, about fonts, the art of fonts, and now we have, you know, the iPhone because of all those art classes he went to, right? But no, being interested in a myriad of things. I think that's what somebody called it. I mean, they call right, and that sounds cool, but I almost took offense.
Yeah, it's like
Hold on.
saying you're not really good at everything. You just like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
But I think a you know where they say specialization versus generalization. I think, but being a generalist, being good at a lot of things or knowing a lot about a lot of different things. Just because you don't know everything about one thing, you know, which is the specialization, I think I'd rather be a generalist.
Same. Like, I used to always like kind of rag on myself. I'd be like, man, I don't have like I've never played a sport. You know how like some people can sing, some people can dance. Like I'm
Right.
just like, there is nothing that I would consider my talent or I'm good. I used to say there's nothing I'm good at.
Mm,
And it's just because like I was trying to find like those common things. Like now I know the things that I'm good at.
yeah.
And I would have never thought of them before. Like, I'm good at talking. I'm good at making communication with anyone. I'm good at sales. Like, those are things I'm good at, but I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
So people, they have this like, oh, you're a jack of all trades. I always say I'm a Jackie of all trades.
Jackie of all trades. I like it. Yeah. No, I think that's I think to be pushed more as you know, kids growing up to be more generalist and you know, your talent could be there's nothing that's good you be pigeonholed or locked into, right? Because maybe somebody is a naturally they're a gifted athlete, right? Per se. So they're pushed and they're pushed and then they're made to believe that only a good football player,
Right.
right? But in reality, they could be good at so many other things, right? They're just not they don't allow themselves to explore and find out what that is.
Right.
You know, I think if we did that, if we identified younger, what are strengths? You lean on strengths, and that builds confidence to where you can now. Oh, they, you know, oh they're not good at math, right? But they're really good at writing and reading, right? Or vice versa. We'll lean into that writing and reading, make them feel really good. And hey, this math, you could do this math
You
too,
can do
right?
this.
You know, it's almost like everything's kind of like that. You know, like when you have when someone breaks an arm and then now they're not using it for 6 weeks or whatever, right? Well, if you stop everything, then, you know, you will deteriorate. But say you broke your left arm, if you're still working out your right arm, you'll maintain the muscle definition in the left.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's wild. It's wild, you know, but just as you're doing something, right, it will affect the rest of the body,
Okay.
you know.
That's good.
So same kind of concept, right? Lean into your strengths. What are you strong at? And then, you know, because before I was like, okay, what are my weaknesses? And let me focus on my weaknesses so I can make them better, so I can get stronger at my weaknesses, right? But I mean, I have a racehorse over here that I'm in the garage.
Yes.
You know, that
Have you ever taken I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the Strength Finders
yes, there's
test.
different,
It focuses on your strengths
hmm
and not your weaknesses.
right.
And like how you can, achieve your goals based off of your strengths. It doesn't focus on like, oh, if you're a procrastinator, it's not focusing on that. It's focusing on what you're strong at, get you to where you need to be. It's also really good for like teams, how they can work in coordination with each other.
Yes.
Because not everybody has the same strengths. So I thought that was a really interesting test because, before most of the tests focus on, we're not good at this. Okay, here's how we're going to fix this. Well, you know what? Maybe let's not focus on how we're going to fix me. Let's focus on how I can use what I already have to get to where I need to be.
Yes. And that could be said, like, use what's available. You know, what resources do you have available? Right. That's what you start with. Right. That's point A. But yeah, you know, especially in a team dynamic when people have to work together, you know, that like someone's strengths is somebody else's weaknesses, and a good team can come together and compensate with that. Like when we first started BAM, Michael and I had our own strengths, and we leaned into those, and that's how come we were operated really good together, because he had his strengths, I had my strengths, and some would overlap, and that's where we could come together to work on something, you know, and to whatever the service was that we were providing, it was a tag team on everything, right? So, for instance, he at one point designed his own website, web development software, right? So that was his thing, right? And I could do it, but man, it took me forever, you know. But I learned to do that. I'm pretty good at doing websites, right? But at that time,
That's the thing.
he was the thing. Then I would come over and like review and edit and you know, suggest changes and stuff like that. But we used to work really good together. And my strength was writing.
Okay.
Right. I've always been a writer. So and I love to read, right? Learn, research. So doing a business plan for me is like, man, I love that.
Okay.
Especially if it's like in a new industry or something that I've never done before. I'm
You
like,
can research and write it all up.
yeah, let me dive into this, you know. But so those were my set. I've learned to lead into those,
Okay.
you know. That matter of fact, everything that I'm doing now is because of my past, of all my experiences. Like I couldn't have dreamt this up. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like there's no way I could have dreamt up a job like this, you know, where everything I do, those are all the things in my life before that.
It led to this moment. So me and my one of my friends, we call it the thing that leads to the thing.
The thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because where you are now is not where you possibly dreamed of being or where you started, but it's the thing that came from the thing. The thing leads to the thing. So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like all my like business opportunities and the places I'm in now, I didn't dream I was going to be here. It was just the thing that led to the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. So it's like, you know, because dreams are powerful, right? We're pulled to them. We're guided by them. But like actually stepping into and living out a dream, which is not necessarily meaning, oh, that's what I envisioned, so that's what I'm doing. But the thing that leads to the thing, you're stepping into and you're literally living your dream. Because one way or another, you created it. And the thing that you got that you're
Yeah.
here. Like, yeah.
So I guess for me, like it's something I've always had back in my mind, and it wouldn't call it like the part of the dream, but since I was a child, I don't remember how many people have told me this, but they're strangers. I've had random people after talking to me, I'm talking younger than 10 years old myself,
Wow.
where people have come up to me after talking to me and they say, "You're going to be something one day." And that, like, at the time, being like, I've been told this numerous times. So I've always had it in my mind. Like, I'm like, wow, like maybe they saw something like in me. So that's always been in the back of my mind that I'm going to be something. So that's been like my fuel, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
to kind of push me in like a lot of my decision making, because I know like I was destined something.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, the first time you got the degree, you just got a biology degree, but then later on, you went into nursing.
Yes.
So, tell me about that. Why did you go into nursing?
So, I want to say like during COVID, like a little bit after COVID, I felt like at the time like I couldn't use my degree. I just felt like I could not use it. I now know that is a lie. Like there's so many things I could have done with that degree. But at the time I felt like I was like, man, I got this degree. I can't even do it. And one of those thoughts was, again, I'm still working as a bartender. Just forward thinking, like looking forward in my future. Well, if I ever decide to move, I'm going to be scrambling, like trying to find a restaurant or a bar to work in. And to me, that didn't feel secure. So I said, you know what? I've got to do something with this degree. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to nursing school. I will always have a job somewhere.
True.
I'm going to go to nursing school. So I enrolled in Texas Tech. They have like an accelerated nursing program for people that have a degree. You have a bachelor's, at least a bachelor's or a master's. You can go to their accelerated nursing program. It's 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what led me in there. I was something that I knew I could do. A year did not seem far away.
Yeah.
It was obtainable, and I knew like I would have that job security, because at the time, like entrepreneurship isn't 100% on my mind yet. And I applied and I ended up getting in, but I didn't go the first time I got in. I got in 2021, I guess maybe 2020. And I ended up like taking a deferral because I started my business and I was like, well, I don't know if my business is going to kick off. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, I basically said I was going to go find a career, just something that provides me with some job security. And I also knew at the time nurses work 3 days a week. And I said, well, that'll give me time to work on my other things. So yeah.
Yeah. So you were going to school, and that's when you acquired Fuego?
No, actually, let me kind of give you a little timeline. So probably like during COVID, it was actually during COVID, we we knew we wanted some sort of like business. Like we just had that itch.
You just didn't know.
We didn't know what.
Okay.
So started a logistics company. We started a freight brokerage.
Okay.
Yeah. So we started that during COVID. And during that time, I actually didn't like it.
Was it mostly oil field or?
It was, I mean, anything.
Okay.
Yeah, anything. We started that. I wasn't happy with it. It's like, I don't see myself doing this for a while. And I'm very headstrong. Like if I don't like something, I'm not going to keep doing it.
Already.
I won't. Yeah, I'm very stubborn in that matter. So we started this freight brokerage and I hated it. So in the midst of like me trying to figure out some plan, how I'm going to tell my partner that I hate this business, I said, well, before I tell him that I hate it, I've got to come up with the plan.
Yeah. What you doing?
So I can't just go to him and say, hey, let's just stop doing this. I don't like this. I needed to come up with something. So I think one day I was scrolling on Instagram at like 2 a.m. and I saw what's my now business. I saw a business in California that they were renting out what's called soft play and like ball pits and like the really nice white bounce
Yeah.
houses. And I said, you know what? I can do that. I bet I can. Like, I know I can.
Yeah.
So I started that day, like doing a little bit of research in our area. And at the time, there were 2 competitors. And I said, you know what? They're not doing it big like the other cities. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to start big. So I formulated this plan on starting this soft play business, essentially. And I went to my husband and I was like, hey, I don't want to do our freight brokerage anymore, but I've got another plan. And he said, I don't want any part of it. He did not want any part of it. So I said, don't worry. I've got a plan. Like, I've got this great plan. It's going to work out. And he said, no, I don't want it of it. And then honestly, like one of the best things you can do for me is tell me no.
There
It
you
just
go.
like lights a fire under me that like kind of propels me to like prove you wrong.
Right.
So I still continued with, which we now know as Posh Party Play. And one of the things that I with the freight brokerage, I learned about importing and exporting. So even though that business, I don't call it a failure because, fail is first attempt in learning. So
love it.
It was my learning moment. So even though I didn't stick with that, it taught me a skill that I needed in Posh Party Play. And that was learning how to import goods.
Yeah.
So in my attempt to be different from the other companies here, I said, you know what? I'm going to manufacture my own equipment. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
I sourced the manufacturer. I imported like my first stuff, and it was a very like exciting moment because with all of that, like I remember like one of our rules with me starting Posh Party Play initially, I said, you know what? I'm going to start this business, but I'm not going to even touch any of our joint funds that we have. So you know what I did? I went and busted my butt bartending for like 2 weeks, just working nonstop. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. What to do it by myself. So yeah, I bought my first set of like soft play, imported it into the country. It's so funny because me doing it alone, before I did not know how to use a tape measure, and I bought all this stuff and I had plans that I was going to put it in the back of my SUV. I'm going to have the smallest trailer. We showed up to Houston to pick up the stuff from the port. The guy at customs said, do y'all have a truck? And we look at each other and we're just like, because again, he didn't know what I bought.
Right.
I didn't share his
Just
detail. I just said, hey, I need you to go to Houston with me to pick up this stuff. And he said, okay. And the guy, he goes, do y'all have a truck? And I was like,
what did y'all take over?
So we had found, like, we knew we'd need some sort of transportation once we got the business up and running. So we had bought like a little small cargo trailer. It was like a 6x10.
Okay.
Which is fairly decent size. But the guy was like, do y'all have a truck? And we pointed outside. We've got that truck. And he was just like, it's not gonna fit. So he brings us to like their warehouse. He's showing us all this stuff. It's like crated up. And these guys are just like, all this stuff is not gonna fit. Like, it was just like, oh my God. You had to be there. It's pretty crazy. But it was still like, again, knowing that things are going to work out. Me being like a 5'0" woman in this warehouse, like I'm kind of screaming at all these guys. I'm like, it's all going to fit. Like, we just need to take everything out of the crates and it's all going to fit. We packed that trailer full, the back of the truck, and the back seat.
Made it happen.
All
Made
fit.
it happen.
Yes, we all fit.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
But it's like a little bit of detail in the how we got started.
Yeah.
It started from the logistics company. That didn't work out. So we started Posh Party Play.
Which did really well.
Yeah. It did really well. And then at that same time was when I got into nursing school. So I started the business that October of 21, and I was scheduled to go to school in January of 22. And I was like, I don't know, I've got to work on this business. Like I was so confident that it was going to do well, that I was putting these plans on the line. So one of my friends was like, hey, you should apply for a deferral. It'll give you some time. I said, you know what? I'm going to do that. So that's what I did. It gave me a year to my situation together.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we started that business and immediately was received well by our area.
Yeah.
It was almost like a dream. So now we used to think like, I mean, Matthew used to say like, I just can't believe that people are going to rent out ball pits. Like he's like, that just sounds stupid.
Right. Right.
So now we can save money.
Stupid makes money.
Because it was just, we couldn't believe that people wanted to rent it out. Like it just took off. And again, I bought the bare minimum. Like, so I had in my mind, like I said, you know what, I'm going to have enough to do 2 parties a weekend just to kind of get my feet wet. And it just took off like crazy. And I can go into like the other details because I ended up manufacturing more equipment, bought a full container and all these like little things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where, I guess like that's where we started. In that following year, I guess I don't know, like I had asked one of my friends that was doing the same thing I was doing. She was telling me, I asked her, I said, when do you know it's like time to grow, like and expand? Because we started in a 10 by 10 storage unit. And she's just like, I don't know, you just kind of have to go for it. And I've always been the kind of person where I jump off the porch. I'm just going to do it.
Yep.
So literally we started in November. I think we had our first booking in December. We rented out 1 bounce house. That was it. And then that following year in 2022 was when we really ramped up in January. And then I want to say like that March of 22, my mom passed away.
Condolences.
So it's so crazy. My mom passed away. And then while I was taking care of all those things, my business was still running. Like it was that having to leave town kind of forced me into getting help. It kind of forced me to grow my business, essentially, I feel like.
Right.
Because I had to depend on people to set up for me.
Which ain't easy.
No, it's not easy.
No.
But at that same time, I had made friends with one of the other companies that was here. And she, at the time, wanted to share a warehousing space with me. So I told her, I was like, hey, my mom passed away. When I get back, let's go look at it. So I go look at the space. And then I just felt like maybe it's too soon to like partner with someone to like even down to just sharing a space because I'm learning this business.
Yeah.
So I ended up renting the space by myself. So we essentially got our warehouse, literally go from a 10 by 10 storage unit in November. In March, we're renting a warehouse space. And I feel like that was like the fuel, like to keep growing. We were just still doing our thing. And then I felt like there was a need just from like, there was like this online of like different soft play owners who were struggling to source equipment, like actual like commercial grade.
Right.
So then I knew how to import it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what? Maybe I can help them. There's a need for it. There's a market for it.
Yeah.
So then that's when I started developing my line of soft play as well as doing wholesale orders.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what led to that time we were just growing.
Hey there, bookworms and knowledge seekers. Ever wished you could find everything you need in one place? Look no further than the Ector County Library. We're not just about books, though we've got plenty of those, from the latest page-turners to classic favorites. We're talking free high-speed internet, tech classes to boost your skills, and awesome programs for all ages. Kids can dive into storytime adventures, teens can hang out and study, and adults can join book clubs or learn something new. There's always something exciting happening at the library.
So whether you're a student looking for homework help, a job seeker needing resources, or just someone who loves to learn, we've got you covered. Swing by your local Ector County Library and see what we're all about. It's more than just books. It's a whole world of possibilities. Ector County Library. Your adventure starts here.
The BAM BizTalk podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Pachuco's Restaurant. Craving authentic and eclectic cuisine in Midland? Well, Pachuco's has you covered. Located in downtown Midland at the ever so legendary and iconic historic building at 316 North Big Spring Street, Pachuco's blends rich and unique flavors in a conveniently pleasant and vibrant atmosphere. Enjoy the highest quality barbecue, savory tacos, burgers, and a variety of other mouth-watering dishes that reflect the spirit of a true Pachuco cuisine. Real, authentic, and just plain different. Check out their menu at www.pachucos432.com or call 432-218-8806 to inquire, or better yet, just show up and get your shine on. At Pachucos, where heritage, exquisite taste, and hospitality come together for an unforgettable dining experience. Pachucos, Midland, Texas. Now back to the show.
And then you recently sold it.
Yeah. So we started business in 2021. This year is essentially like we've been in business 4 years. And as of yesterday, we sold it to a lovely couple. They have another rental business, B&M Party Rentals, and it just felt like such a good fit. It had been on my heart for a while to sell the business. I just knew I had other plans that I was ready to pursue.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to close the business because I knew the potential that it still had, and I knew it had room to grow. But I just knew, like, for me to get to where I wanted to be, it was time for me to close that chapter.
Yeah.
And start a new one. So probably a year ago, I want to say I started kind of looking for a seller or a buyer. And I actually posted it on my socials, and then I feel like it kind of spooked my clients.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it kind of spooked them. So I actually hid the post. I said, you know what? Maybe it's not time.
Maybe not yet.
Maybe not yet.
Because you feel it. You're just putting feelers out.
Yeah, I was putting feelers out. And then I hid the post just because, again, I feel like it scared them. And
did anybody reach out?
I had tons of interest. Yeah.
No, I'm saying for your clients that got scared. How do you know they were spooked?
Because I know, like, a couple of them were, like, asking me for, like, recommendations for other companies. They were like, hey, well, since you're not in business anymore, refer me. And I was like, actually, I'm still running.
Here.
I'm still here. Just like, I can't, like, I know, like, they probably super spooked, but me, I was like, they're spooked. It just seemed like they were a little scared.
Yeah.
So because again, the equipment that I had, I knew I had, and currently still do actually. We have the largest range of mobile ball pits in our area. I want to say even Lubbock and the surrounding cities.
Wow.
Yeah. So I knew, I was like, let me just sit on it. So probably about a year ago is when I started looking. And here recently, I feel like Matthew's always like the little angel on the shoulder, or devil, whichever one you want to say, like kind of reminding me like, hey, look, what are we doing here? Just get in the motions of doing stuff. And I feel like kind of loosely asking, because, you know, I even asked you at one point, like, hey, you know anybody?
Yeah.
And that was 9 months ago.
That was a while. Yeah.
So, and it just, a really good contact came about and put me in contact with the couple.
Yeah.
And you
know, timing is everything, right?
No, timing is everything. And let me tell you why. Because I feel like my story's all over the place, but I promise people at home, they're
tracking.
At the same time, the day we bought Fuego, a lot of people know, but I bought another business.
It happened on the same day. So this is a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
It happened on the
Yeah.
day, like the exact same day.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally.
Mhm.
That's what's crazy. So, in January of 2024, I'm on social media, Instagram, and there was an account that I follow. It's like an online party shop. I saw that they mentioned they were closing. I'm not afraid to slide into people's DMs before.
Got to.
So I sent them a message. They didn't respond for like 2 months, and then I sent another message, and they finally messaged and they said like, well, we weren't gonna sell the business, but like actually, if you're interested, let's chat. So
They were just going to shut it down.
from my knowledge, they were just
Oh,
gonna
wow.
shut it down. I have no idea if anyone else was interested.
Yeah.
They were closing essentially. Not wasn't doing well. I'm not gonna say her name. I don't want people to bother her, but the previous owner, she has a very high level job with a major airline, like in the C-suite. So I knew like she was probably selling just because she was really busy. So I just reached out to them, said, hey, kind of interested. It sounds crazy that I'm looking for another business when I clearly have one, but I was doing that because, you've always got to think of your next move. And at the time I knew I needed to start working on essentially my exit plan.
Yeah.
And I knew like running around every weekend wasn't going to be my exit.
Right.
But having an online store, that sounds pretty close to having a good exit. So I reached out to them. Months go by and we kind of come to an agreement. But at the same time, I was just like, I don't really know like if this is right. I think I was a little scared, which is crazy because I'm not a chicken. Like I'm typically not afraid. So we started the convo in January. In June, we're on our family vacation. And I don't know, I'm sitting on the beach and I said, I need to reach back out to her just because I feel like I kind of left her on red from my fear. And I say to her, I was like, hey, this is what I'm willing to do. This is what I would like if you're comfortable with. And we reached a deal and she told me like a date that the stuff needed to be out of her existing warehouse. And I said, okay. So we kind of loosely worked on a deal. July comes. We see the post for Fuego. At the same time, the previous owner's messaging me like, hey, are we going to do this or not? Because I've got to be out of my warehouse. Like, I was just like, oh my gosh.
What did I get myself into?
What did I get myself into? I'm not even like telling him like all like the behind the scenes of like what's really going on because he will be stressed from my mess. So one of my friends of like, she's a business coach, but she's my business coach too because I got her personal phone number. She told me, she said, if the sale for Fuego doesn't go through, would you be upset that you did not buy this other business? And I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because at the time, like there were other people interested in Fuego. Like we didn't know if we didn't get it. And she was like, if that sale doesn't go through, are you going to be really mad that you didn't make that decision to get it? Because, who buys two businesses in one day? That's scary.
Right.
Like a crazy decision. So I told her, I said, yeah, I'm going to be pissed because I saw the potential. I just didn't have the headspace to really formulate like the full vision.
Yeah.
And she said, I mean, the worst thing you do is just get it and just throw it in your warehouse. Like you don't have to even do anything. And I was like, you're right. So I said yes to her, arranged the truck to go pick it up, paid the money. And bam, that like literally later that afternoon, the previous owner of Fuego was like, okay, do y'all want to come sign the contract? And we're like, oh, you're going with us? Same day.
Today.
It was
today.
it was the same. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I remember going home And he was in the shower, and I walk in our bathroom, and I'm like, hey, I just bought 2 businesses. Like, very, like, loosely. It was just so crazy.
It's just
like,
another
but
Tuesday.
it was literally just another Tuesday. And I was just like, oh my God. So all that happens. I get all the merchandise. No idea what I'm going to do with it. I just know, like, I knew Fuego was currently running. That had to be my focus.
Yeah.
So I took all of the stuff that I bought from the other business, shoved it in my warehouse, and said, you know what? I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
So that led me up to today.
Yeah.
I've been harboring it in my warehouse since last July. And at the same time, like, working on the sale for Posh Party Play, because I had a rule for myself. I said, you know what? I'm not going to start working on that business until I know I can sell Posh Party Play.
Right.
And that happened yesterday.
Yeah. Just moving on.
Yeah, just
Had it.
already had it.
Had it and loaded.
Yep.
Now it's time to let it go. Yeah. And it's timing really is everything.
Timing is everything.
Yeah. You know, because you can want it to a certain time, right? But then it's like, okay, it didn't work out for this reason or whatever. But then when it actually does happen, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That's why it took that long for it
Yeah.
to happen.
So, I mean, like, everything, there's a reason and season for everything. Like, I mean, I feel like for myself, like, nothing that I've been through is like the worst that I could go through. So, like, I always tell people, like, I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it. Like, I try to not think that everything I've been through, like, all like the hardships, I'm like, they're not that bad. It could be worse.
I love that. So for the listeners out there, they're probably, you know, and I know for sure because you make it look easy, right? But it's not, right? Because at one point in all this, you were homeless. Is that true?
I experienced like some homelessness as a child.
Yeah.
Not in my adulthood.
Oh, okay. I thought that was.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I've had jobs before, and I'll take more if I had to. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
No, in my childhood.
But you experienced that, right? And so people were listening. It's like you can use what you do, and you can get to where you want to go.
I remember one point. It's probably like one of the memories that I have as a kid. Like when we didn't have anywhere to stay. Like I remember we had all this stuff in our car. We ended up staying at like a family friend's house, but I couldn't find like the shoes that I was supposed to wear at school. And at that time, we weren't allowed to wear like shoes that, you know, you couldn't wear flip-flops or anything like that was exposed in the back. Like you had to wear like a tennis shoe or something like that.
Gotcha.
So I was wearing like some slip-in shoes. Like they were still nice shoes, but my teacher, she's like, why are you not wearing, you know, your dress code shoes? And I was like, I'm sorry. Like all of our stuff is in the car. Like we're living out of our car. Like I don't have like a way to find those shoes, but I don't know. That's like the one memory that always like sticks out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because a teacher noticed and pointed it out. Right. And kind of you're just trying to get by the day. Get through the day.
Yeah. But no, my adulthood, I feel like I've been very self-sustainable. I may get it by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Not stealing, but
let me preface that.
Let me preface that by no stealing, killing. Remember, I don't do anything that's going to send me to jail.
Yeah, right. Because you got to implement those rules.
Yes, that's right.
Stay out of jail. All right, check one.
But yeah, I feel like there's just so many like little things to like the story. I guess like if we want to touch down on like the hardship aspect or just getting through it, aside from like, you know, losing my mom, we lost my father-in-law. The hardest thing that I would say I've ever been through was getting diagnosed with cancer.
No.
And for a lot of people, that is like, that's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's rough. Not like, it's like, you know, people that have had near-death experiences, like for me, I'm like getting diagnosed with cancer. It's like death knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the closest for me, that was the closest I've ever been. And I don't know, like it just, you just never expect call.
Right. Especially so young.
Oh yeah, for
you know?
sure.
Yeah. And thriving, and you're doing good, and you're just moving through life. Everything's happening.
Yeah.
Then you get that call.
Yeah. So I had that same year in 2022, I had lost my mom to stage 4 breast cancer.
And that's when you found out.
Yeah. So
wow.
my mom died in March of 2022. And then I was diagnosed in October of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So like while you're grieving, you're hit with a sledgehammer. That's yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was definitely rough. Like when you feel like you're doing everything right, like for the most part, I was in my definition of healthy. So it felt like a slap in the face. I'm like, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
What am I doing? Like the point of everything I'm doing. So it was very like initial, very angry.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I remember one of my first doctor's appointments. I told my doctor, I said, listen, I've got plans and I've got things to do. I need you to write on this piece of paper the timeline for all of this, because right now I see it as like in my way. So I need you to give me like a timeline. And he did. He wrote on the paper, he said, all right, you're going to get your report this day. You're going to start chemo this day. You're going to hopefully have a surgery this day. You're going to do immunotherapy. This is what time you're looking at. Because I needed something visual. I needed to see what I was looking at. Because again, I've got plans.
Yeah.
I already own my business at this point. Posh Party Play. We had been in business a year at that point. So I had some hard plans. And again, at that same time, I had taken that year deferral, and it was coming up for me to tell him, hey, you either need to accept your spot or not. So that year would have been me starting in January of 23. And I get diagnosed with cancer in the fall of 22.
Yeah.
So I had just literally 2 weeks before they asked me like, hey, will you be starting with us in the spring, like in the January? I'm plans to go because I got my business up and running. I'm like, what's it going to hurt for me to go to nursing school? It's always a fallback. Right. I know, even though I have this business, I knew going to nursing school, I would always have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
And then again, you don't know if you don't like something unless you try it. So even if I hated nursing, at least I can say I tried it.
Right.
So I get diagnosed with cancer October, and I remember a couple people telling me, they're like, you are not going to be able to go to nursing school at the same time.
Oh, told you no again, huh?
Yeah. I don't like that word. Don't tell me no. I hate it. I was just, because I mean, I didn't know what I was up against. The only image of fighting I had in my mind was my mom.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me because she took it very hard. Like I knew like it wasn't going to be an easy battle. Like even to one of my doctors, she told me, she said, you need to stop comparing yourself to your mom, because what she went through may not be what you're going to go through. And I said, okay. So that fall, I get my diagnosis, get my plan for treatment. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? I am not going to let this be a roadblock in my life. Like I'm not going to. I'm going to be end of this, instead of saying, yay, KJ beat cancer. I want to be able to say KJ beat cancer and
yes.
She became and she started another business and she ran her business. Like I knew for me, and this was solely me, I wanted it to be more than just KJ beat cancer.
Right.
So
I
said, you know what? I'm going to go to nursing school. While beating cancer. I'm going to continue running my business while beating cancer. Yeah. So, that January of 23, I started nursing school after my 3rd round of chemo. Yeah. Bald and all. I was there on my first day. Yep.
Going.
Yep.
Yeah. Pushing.
And
I'm sure there was where you're just like,
oh, tired, yeah. I've
drained.
Absolutely. Like there were times like I feel like I couldn't do homework. Um, I couldn't study because like I was exhausted. Like,
Yeah.
um,
Brain's not working right.
oh
Like
yeah,
trying
like
to figure out what's in
my
front of you.
I do neurotherapy. I mean I did it before cancer, but my therapist, like where they map out your brain and
Yeah.
everything,
Okay.
I'm about to get my brain because she said like she's noticed like in certain patients who've done chemo get alters
Mm,
like their brain.
yeah.
I mean, it definitely does, but
Sure.
like she suspects that because I was doing school at the same time, like while doing chemo,
Uh,
it was actually better for me because it
mhm.
forced me to like use my brain. It forced
Right.
me to like do something hard and difficult because
Mhm.
it wasn't easy. Like, I mean,
No.
there's days I hurt, like just sick, like it was a very interesting experience. Like looking back, I'm like, how did I do that?
But then you have an assignment due tomorrow
Yeah,
and you haven't even started
I
on
haven't
it.
started on it.
So you, no matter how you feel,
You got to get it
you gotta
done.
go
Yeah.
because and
Mm-hmm.
right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super inspirational. I could see you writing a book and being like on a speaking tour. You know what I mean? Like I can see this. I see this. I can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Because that's one of your talents, right? You can talk
I can
and
talk.
communicate.
I can talk and communicate.
Yeah.
I can talk face to face, but on stage, I'm still getting comfortable doing that.
We can take care of that. Yeah.
So
You get it's just practice.
practice.
You already know. Yeah.
But that was like my, I guess, hardship,
Yeah.
what I consider like my biggest battle
Yeah.
that I won was beating cancer.
Yeah. And still beating it.
Still beating it.
Right.
I mean, they consider you no evidence of disease after you have your
Right.
surgery. So, I mean, I'm essentially in remission, cancer
Right.
free, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I say that every day. I'm like, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I'm cancer free.
Mm.
That's like my little mantra.
Yeah. Speaking it. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You know it's inspirational on a lot of levels, and that has a lot to do. Like I think your therapist is correct in saying because you put yourself through that, it did help you to really maintain. It's kind of the same thing with the arm, the broken arm now, right? It's still
Yep.
it lessens the degradation and helps you maintain.
Yeah. But also the mental strength. Like, so I remember before we got like the staging of the cancer, we had went to my mother-in-law's house for like the weekend, and it was actually my daughter's birthday that following week I got diagnosed. And I remember being in her house and I was like in so much pain, like I felt like everything hurt.
You didn't know why.
Well, I had got that it was cancer, but we didn't know how bad it was. We didn't know what stage. We didn't know if it spread. I just knew I had the big C word.
Yeah.
So we're at my mother-in-law's house and I'm just like, man, everything hurts. Like, because I'm consumed with, I've got cancer and everything hurt. And it's like, I allowed myself to be in pain mentally. Like, so I felt it.
Yeah.
Because next week when we got the staging and we found out that it hadn't spread to like, just a couple distant lymph nodes, I wasn't in pain anymore because I knew it wasn't as bad. Like before we got the staging, I said, oh yeah, this stuff is spread. It's everywhere. I'm probably dying.
Right. Like tomorrow. That's all we got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Done.
Because everything hurt. But once we got the true staging on how bad it was, everything stopped hurting. So I knew that day the mental strength is like if you're mentally strong,
Yeah.
you can get through anything. Like
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I think I mentioned this. I talked about this once at the She Can conference. I was like, I'm like that annoying person where I'm just a little overly too positive sometimes. Like where I'm just like, it's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine.
I'm great.
Yeah.
Having a great day. I don't care if you just ran over my foot. Like just very overly positive. But I feel like that does help because even going through chemo, A lot of the side effects most people experience, I didn't experience it. Yeah, there were some bad days, but I'm like, it could be worse.
It could be worse. It could always be worse.
Always be worse.
And, and maintaining a positive attitude, right? It is a miracle work, right?
Sure.
Yeah, because the same thing, if for someone who takes on the aspect of it, right? Like, oh, okay, even if you got the staging information that you got right, okay, well, I still have cancer. Okay, just all the negativity that you're feeding yourself. It's like what I was talking about earlier. It's like you're pinging your frequency out, right, constantly with every single thought, whether it's
Right.
positive or negative. You're shooting it out there, and when it comes back, it's going to be amplified, right? Either negative or positive.
That's right.
What do you want, right? Do you want a positive outcome?
Yep. Or do you want to dwell in you want to sulk in it?
Yeah, because you're creating it, right? What you're speaking out.
Yep.
That's what you're creating for yourself, but pushing through in a positive aspect to, like there's they made a movie out of it, but it was during the Holocaust, World War II, and that movie with the boy and his father, and the father was like making him laugh throughout the experience in the concentration camp.
Okay.
Right? So to the little boy that survived had a mostly normal adulthood because
He didn't associate that with being negative.
right, it was all a positive experience for him, So that your perception that you have, right, your positivity, your negativity defines you. That's why when you're moving through life, you like what when they say some of the largest performers are the most the grand business owners, epic mega billionaires or whatever, right? Keep your circle small, right? Like get rid of negative people, right? Like business ownership, right? You're gonna, as you grow, you hire, right? Well, even if you have a top performer but they have a negative attitude, you want to cut them. You don't want to keep
They
them.
hold you back.
They hold you back, no matter how. I learned this like playing basketball, like in, I don't know what they call it, Pee Wee League. I don't know. We were like 10, 12 years old, right? Whereas this one kid on team, he was a superstar, right? Superstar. We all depended on him. That's all we do. Just throw the ball, right? His nickname was Butter. So get the butter, right? Coach took him out and made us work,
But it made you stronger.
Yeah, because we had to work together as a team, right? Instead of depending on the one person,
Right.
But, attitude has a lot to do with success
It does.
and failure, right? Whatever you bring in. But wow, are we missing anything to your story? Because I know it's like every time I talk to you, I learn something new about you, and
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple things, but I don't know.
So let's talk about the business that you had at the back. You put in the back in the warehouse. You just had sitting there.
Yeah.
It's coming out now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So
It's an online party shop, which is perfect timing because sad to see them go, but yay for us. Party City's out of business. It's an online party shop. We'll be seeing like modern boutique party goods, as well as I'm going to, one of the services I offered in Posh Party Play was I was also an event planner. So I'm going to continue doing those services as well.
see, I knew there was something we were missing.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been, aside from renting out, like having my rentals, I also plan events. So I would love to continue to do that. So
Right. Like you bring together the whole event.
so I've been, I guess like one of my biggest events that I've been able to be a part of. This was our second year to be the event planner for the Permian High School prom.
Yeah. And this year's was epic, I hear.
Yeah, it was 1,000 kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And just what I saw online was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
Right?
really nice.
Yeah. You had DJ Boogie, right? On the show.
Yep.
Shout out to Boog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which he regularly spends at your place, right? At
He
Fuego?
does, yeah. He's been really helpful for me. He organizes my like rotate my DJ rotation.
Yeah. He's the guy.
He's good. Yeah, so it's gonna be when I bought the business, it was essentially like an asset sale. So with that, it pretty much had to change the name of the business, just because it was tied to like a famous blogger. Like she wanted to retire that brand, so the name we were gonna have to change in the sale, which is fine. Well, not afraid to
Yeah.
work hard again.
Yeah.
So honestly, which is good because it kind of it forces us
Yes.
to work times harder. But it's called Happy-ish.
Happy-ish.
Yeah.
Happy-ish. Happy-ish. Okay. You already have the
Yes, live yet.
Gotcha.
But the website is live, but we're not for orders yet because we just acquired a new space to move into. So we're kind of making the transition to get out of our old warehouse into the new one.
Okay. So you say it's boutique party supplies. Like, what are you talking
So
about?
it's not like you can't, like if you go to Dollar Tree right now,
Okay.
you can buy plates and cups, and they're generally like one color scheme, like, pink, blue, green, yellow, red, orange. For us, we will have our own like party line. So let's say you like disco balls. So manufacture a plate that looks like a disco ball.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's custom.
Yeah, it's a little bit. We'll have a line like you won't be able to custom order them. We'll offer different like it's like a niche party goods.
Okay. Okay. So similar to your concept of the Posh party play,
Yeah.
right?
Same industry. We're in the party industry,
Yeah.
but just a different role.
Okay. And it's online.
It'll be online, and then we finally decided we're gonna do local pickups.
Okay.
So if you wanted to order, you can order online, and then you'll be able to select pickup.
Okay. Okay. So that's congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
On being able to breathe to get that out of the box.
I know. Like, well, truthfully, like if we didn't sell Posh Party Play, probably realistically in the next month, we had already started looking for a new space because we were like, all right, we've been sitting on this too long. Like, I don't know why I'm acting scared when I know I can do this. So even if we did not sell, the plan was to just
Get on with it
get
anyway.
on with it. Yeah.
Well, perfect timing.
It was just perfect timing.
Yeah. Again, all about timing.
Yeah.
So, how can the listeners like find you and check out your businesses, all the social medias? How about Fuego? Tell them about Fuego.
You can find us at Fuego. For Instagram, it's Fuego West Texas. We haven't changed the handle yet, but we're still there. Fuego West Texas on Instagram. Posh Party Play on Instagram. You'll be able to find Happy-ish from Posh Party Play because once we get up and running, we're gonna be highlighting both of those on there.
Okay. So, you're still operating the social media for Posh Party?
Yes, the owners that we sold to, the plan was to be able to market the new business through Posh Party Play. So
Okay.
we kind of negotiated that in our sale as well. That I would be able to
Still
plug
use-
the
Yeah.
just until we get our feet wet because
Right.
our Midland Odessa, they're very, so we wanted them to be able to use us for all their party needs. They need rentals. They're going to be able to get it from Posh Party Play. They need tables. Well, the owners that took over, they rent out tables and chairs. They need party goods. They can get it from Happy-ish. So
Okay. So it works together really nice.
yeah, it does. It really does.
That's awesome. That's on
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah. Well, Miss KJ, I had a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me.
I have one more request.
Absolutely.
So, drop parting words, I guess, knowledge or inspiration, whatever you want to be to our listeners out there.
Ooh, you got me on the spot with that one. Let's see. I guess I kind of touched down on it earlier when I was talking about failure.
Yeah.
And like I said, fail is your first attempt in learning. I like to think of my goals as like me skiing. So if we're on the slope and you're looking down at your feet, you're going to fall on your face and your bottom. But if you're looking ahead at the distance and the finish line, you're going to always get to where you need to be.
Eyes on the prize.
And remember, there's no such thing as roadblocks. I call them orange cones. They might get in your way temporarily, but just move them out of the way.
Move them out of the way.
Yeah.
Just move.
Or run them over. Whatever works. But yeah,
There are no roadblocks. Just cones.
just orange cones.
Just
We call
orange
them orange cones. Yeah.
Orange cones. Right. They're not immovable.
Yeah.
You definitely get them. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, thank you for the inspiration. Thanks for the great conversation.
Yeah. Thank you.
And man, I'd wish you best of luck, but you don't need it. You got this.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Take care.